Good morning. And it is a good morning. Lovely, calm, peaceful morning. Uh, Lovely sky up there. Very slight breeze. Everything's calm and relaxed. Just like me, calm and relaxed. I think that was one of the best rest days I have had since I became homeless van guy, Shuttlepod vlogger person. The cynic in me knows that it's not going to last. And within a few days, I'm starting to feel, all tensed up and whatnot. But that's just life, man. That's I feel like I'm Jeff Bridges or something. That's just like life, man. It's digital jazz.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just going to enjoy the chill while I can, and know that next weekend I should have another opportunity for another day off. I think I'm falling into a little routine now, and routines are comfortable for me. Um, Although you do have to be careful about getting trapped in a routine that's no good for you. There's another doggo over there. He's off leash. No, he's not off leash. He's leashed to the caravan. Damn. I was going to try and tempt him over. Oh, there's his owner. Um, some sort of husky mix, I think. Oh, went around the corner. I'll see if I can get a shot later. Anyway, so yeah, Monday. Hello, Monday. Hello, new week. The re-inspection that I was scheduled for late in the week has now been cancelled. And they went, oh, no, something went wrong. We'll reschedule or something. You can still apply if you like, but I don't know. But there's also another place that has now opened an inspection, which is weird because that wasn't there on Friday, but it was there this morning, and the offices haven't opened yet. So someone must have pulled the trigger on the weekend or something. Anyway, the inspection's on Wednesday. And this is for a place that's been listed for a while now, but I suspect the existing tenants hadn't moved out because the only way to inspect and then apply was a digital inspection. So you'd look at some photos and go, yep, that's fine. But no, that's a dumb way to find a rental because, you don't know what they're leaving out of those photos. You got to go look. But it does seem like a nice place. It's a little block of flats, brick construction, so it should be nice and quiet between the walls and all that sort of stuff. And it's in the right budget, so it's very, very promising. So fingers crossed on that one. At least there is something this week that I can feel hopeful towards. So that's the key to things at the moment. Just finding those little moments of hope to grasp onto as hard as you can until they get ripped away from you, and then you feel sad again. But that's just life, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not feeling like my regular instant coffee this morning. I'm not going to bother with that. Instead, I might go to the local supermarket before I set off on the drive south again and get one of those iced coffee things. That's what I'm in the mood for this morning. Something, a nice iced coffee, overly sweetened. Something like that. We'll see what piques my interest when I get into the fridge aisle. So what they call it, the fridge aisle, cooler aisle, dairy, I don't know. Anyway, a little bit of time to kill before I actually open up because I actually got up quite early this morning. So, yeah, we'll see what comes next. So, fun little facts about my sound deck here. When I went to put in the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack day before yesterday, when I was cruising up here to the caravan park, it wouldn't go in. I thought, oh no, it's broken. And then I remembered, wait, that feels exactly like what it should feel like if there's a CD already in there. I've had this van for 75 days, and I've never once pressed that button, apparently, because inside there was already a CD, a burnt CD, believe it or not, CDR-ADS from Light On. Radio Birdman, Radios Appear. Now, I don't know how internationally famous Radio Birdman actually are, but they're an Australian punk band. And I'm talking about OG punk, like just before I was born punk, from 1977-ish, I think this particular album is. I can't even remember whether I've listened to... I know I've listened to Radio Birdman before. I don't know if I've ever heard anything off this particular album, because the only time I've ever heard them was on the radio during my youth, I'm pretty sure. So, at some point, I'm going to give that a listen. However, today's soundtrack for the drive back down to Ballarat will be Silverchair Best Of. Look at that track list. That is just an epic track list. Oh, another thing I wanted to share about the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack here is I got a little collectible card. I'm not sure whether they put different cards, like if this is a genuine collectible and you have to buy multiple copies of the soundtrack or something, but look who I got. Yeah. Doesn't even have her name on the back. Just super generic little plastic shiny card. I'm not even sure I mean, it's not the actual character model or anything. It's just someone's drawn this. It looks like fan art. It's slightly off model with that weird smirk thing she's got going on there. I don't know, man. And the foreshortening's all wrong. Look at those hands. Those hands should be much larger. Because she's, pointing straight forward like that. I don't know. Whoever they commissioned to draw this, I don't know, their colouring is real nice. But yeah, their actual talent for anatomy, not so much. I don't know. I shouldn't be too picky. It is a fairly decent thing, and it's only a little piece of shit cardboard thing you get with the soundtrack, so it's not as if it's that special. But still. Alright, what did we settle on? We settled on a Real Coffee Ice Break Triple Shot, which sounds really intense, but I've had this before. And if there are 3 shots, they're like 3 half shots, or 3 shots of particularly weak coffee, or... because it barely tastes like a double. Alright, 205 milligrams of caffeine per serving, which... that's probably where they get the triple shot thing from, because it's larger than a coffee serve, but it contains the same amount of caffeine as a reasonable triple shot, I guess. I don't know. Well, it'll get the day started. Damn real estate agents and the formatting of their text messages. So I'm on the highway coming down. There's no place to pull off and check my messages or anything. I'm doing 100. Listen to Silverchair. I'm having a good morning. And the phone makes the chimey noise that means, hey, I've got a text message. So I glance over to see who it was and if it's important. It was from the real estate agent. I was just like, Dear Nate, your application, and then it some cut off, basically. So I didn't see the context. Your application, something, blah, 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 blah. So, drove for another half hour till I'm in Ballarat again, thinking about the message the whole time. The full message read something along the lines of, Dear Nate, your application for address is now being processed. So... yeah. It actually, let me double check when I applied for this one, because I feel like it's been sitting in pending for a while. Yeah, fully 1 week. So it was the one I looked at Monday last week, this time last week. Put the application in immediately, and I just sat there as pending or processing or whatever. As of today, they've started actually processing the applications. So I'm assuming that must mean they had a inspection on the weekend for the people with, responsibilities during the week that can't normally get to the weekday inspections or whatever, I suppose. Don't know. Either way, I was debated by a text message from the real estate agent again. But still nice to see progress. It's processing. Not sure how long it'll take to process. day or two, I'm guessing. So maybe by Wednesday, I'll have heard back about this place. And actually, let me double check which place it is. All right, back again. Sorry. All these places start to bleed together after a while because a lot of these flats are actually based on the same plans, or very close to the same plans. Like the layout is almost identical. They're all built around the same time, sort of, early to late 80s. There must have been a housing boom or something around here. I don't know. So yeah, a lot of these places, which are blocks of flats, like 4 flats or whatever, are built off the same plan. So a lot of them look really similar to one another. It's tough to keep them straight, which one I inspected when and what I applied for when and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, double check this one. And it was the one with the weird toilet door. It was kind of on a slant. So when you stood on a certain part of the floor in the toilet, the door would catch and then release and close on its own. That one. Remember that one? I talked about that one. The one where the other guy wouldn't stop talking to me about all the things he didn't like about it. Like he was trying to psych me out or something. It was weird. That one. Which I did like. I did like that one. It's a little bit on the smaller side compared to some of the other places I've been looked at for similar prices when it comes to the size of the bedrooms, which is mildly important because if I get one of these 2-bedroom places, which again, a lot of these places are because they're built on the same plans, I would obviously turn one into a dedicated studio space. And I would like that to be big enough for a practical VR space. Because while I don't make a lot of VR content these days, who knows what's going to happen in the future. I still personally enjoy VR from time to time. And sometimes I film videos where I use a VR avatar for, some thematic reason or something. So I need enough room to have a standing space for VR at least, alongside all the other equipment and lights and whatever. So, but yeah, this place would be sort of on the smaller side of things where that goes, but still would be friggin' delighted to have it. Because it would be my space. It would be my space, my home. We're day 70 at this point of being homeless, and I think I've mentioned it a few times. I'm probably going to mention it more and more often, but I'm starting to reach the ragged edge. I'm getting overwhelmed faster and faster. Because we're in a little holding pattern essentially here while I'm orbiting Ballarat and doing these inspections and constantly being rejected, and yeah, it was a little bit different when we were still traveling and waiting for packs and stuff like that, because there was little travel adventures we could do, but yeah, that's there's less and less of that. So settling into a little routine, which again, I think I mentioned this morning. Routines are good, predictable. My brain likes routines, but this particular routine is also not especially good for my brain. Just the day-to-day life of it, and the amount of stimulation, the kinds of stimulation I have day-to-day available to me. It's difficult. It is difficult. So it's taken a lot of personal strength to push through this, and God, I hope it's over soon. Because I don't know what I'm going to look like if I have to go through another 2 months of this, or if I have to break in the new year when I'm still doing this. It's in any case. Fingers crossed, application is processing, blah, blah, blah. Right. Drive was good, though. The GPS took me on an alternate route because there's some roadworks on the route that would normally have taken me down. And the alternate route was way better. Like newer roads, smoother roads, emptier roads. The run down here was so clean. It was wonderful. So I think I might deliberately take that secondary route next time. In other real estate news, I have, there's a truck reversing towards me. Do you have a reverse camera? You do have a reverse camera. Probably looking at me staring at my phone. Oh, there's lots of material coming out of your exhaust. Ew. Oh wait, that's not your exhaust. Right, it's a street sweeper. That's the quote-unquote filtered air from filtering. Oh, geez. I think that the truck might need some maintenance. Anyway, as I was saying, more real estate news. I just got an email from another real estate agent from another place I inspected recently to tell me that they had it was no longer available and they'd found someone to rent it out, which was a really quick turnaround for this place because this was the fucked up place. This was the place that had the floor on 3 different levels. One of the doors was like 40% the size of a door should be. The kitchen cabinets where they looked like they were built for someone in a wheelchair, but there was a step into the kitchen, so good luck wheelchair users with that. You know, the fucked up place. Apparently they found someone to rent that immediately. I imagine they weren't too picky on the applications. They were just like, fuck, this place is going to be so hard to rent out. If anyone applies, just approve them. We need to get rid of this thing. We can't have this on the market anymore. It's embarrassing to show. That's how I imagine it went anyway. But yeah, like I said, that place was so odd. There's no doubt in my mind, just living in somewhere that was that bizarre would have been a stress on its own. Like, yes, roof over my head, but at what cost? And also the room that was off the tiny door, like, I would need to use that room for my studio, but getting any equipment in there, desk, chair, all that kind of stuff, would have been impossible, or I'd have to dismantle every piece of furniture that went in or out of there. I just, you know. In any case, it's off the market, so don't know why they bothered to email me about that, because I didn't apply. I inspected, but I didn't apply, so don't know why they thought I would care. They found somebody. Maybe they're just bragging. Hey, you said it was all fucked up. Look, we found someone to rent it. They're going to give us money to stay here. Ha ha! Shows you. Okie dokie. The day is drawing to a close. It looks like it's going to be a dreary evening. The whole sky has gone all grey. I haven't checked the weather report, but wouldn't be shocked to find out it's going to rain throughout the night. It feels like rain, you know what I mean? Nothing of further note happened today for kind of the second half of the day. Just kind of chilled out. So another piece of good news. My mate, who has been traveling in the USA for the past couple of weeks or so, has returned safe and sound, thankfully. Made it through the interesting USA borders without any fight, apparently. He does have a rather big advantage of being white, very white. If I'm honest, he's a pale dude. But no, nice to have him back safe and sound. Not least of the reasons why is because he is a reference that I've been using on my rental applications, because he's known me for decades. So who better? So he'll be able to respond to those a bit quicker than he was able to when he was in the US. I don't think it was a problem when he was over there, but it's easier now. And oh, there it is. There's the rain I predicted. Told you it felt like rain. You can just feel rain coming. I've asked people that before. Apparently it's not a universal thing. Some people can just feel when it's about to rain. I don't know. I wonder if it's another one of those autistic things. We're just extra sensitive to barometric pressure, perhaps, or the smell of it on the wind. Because not everyone can smell rain. That weirded me out as a kid. Pre-diagnosis, no less. Can't you smell rain? What are you talking about? It's water. Water doesn't smell. Are you nuts? This rain smell. There is a rain smell. It's scientifically proven there is a rain smell, because it disturbs atmospheric molecules in a very specific way. And just Google it. Google rain smell. It's a thing. But apparently not everyone is sensitive enough to pick it up. But yeah, I can sense and feel and smell the rain before it arrives. And I was bemused as a slightly younger man when I found out that it's not a universal thing. I thought it was just, natural instincts. Because, animals can smell water from kilometers away and stuff and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Just more evidence that autistic people are the next evolution of the human species, which was better in so many other ways. If only the world wasn't so hostile to us, we could lead the way. Brave new world. All you normies be in little camps to keep you safe. You know what I mean? Wait, I've drifted off the. Figured I said that. Shh. How do I transition out of that? Oh, there is no way. I'm just going to hang a lampshade on it and move on. Yeah. So, thank you for your attention. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the PayPals, for the super chats, for the Patreon, for the likes and the comments. I think I said that one already. Thank you to that one, the one person whose name I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but even if I could, I don't know whether they'd appreciate the privacy implications of that. But there was a person who donated like $42, specifically earmarked for me to go see the new Zootopia movie, which is coming out in a couple of weeks, less than 2 weeks, something like that. Soon, anyway, this month. And for those of you who've been with us on this entire journey, you'll know that before these vlogs started, the pre-vlog videos where I was talking about just how my life was going to explode, and I was in an extremely depressive spot. I got quite upset, at the notion of the new Zootopia movie and whether or not I'd be around to see it, if you know what I mean. So still here. Victory for that. And extremely kind of someone to PayPal me the money to ensure that I get to go see it as well, so I don't have to justify the expense. Undecided whether or not I'll see it here in Ballarat or travel to like Melbourne proper, where there are fancier cinemas. Because here in Ballarat, there's a couple of cinemas, and neither seem to have the gold class experience that I tend to prefer for the sake of enjoying the movie at its fullest and making sure that, it's a premium ticket. So everyone who pays for that ticket tends to go there to see the movie. There's very little chatter and no kids allowed, unsupervised, all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's an option in the cinemas local here. So I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do about that. But it was very sweet of that person to do that for me. Another person donated today the value of a night at the caravan park as well. So that'll make it easy to justify another 2-night stay this coming weekend. It's really starting to come down now. Anyway, I said my goodbyes. I said my thank yous. I'm rambling off now. So until tomorrow, which don't know what tomorrow holds. No plans for tomorrow. Oh, still haven't done the knockoff Lego thing. That's one thing we can do tomorrow. Bye.